Picture this, a snow-white wasteland stretching endlessly beneath a massive C-17 Globemaster III, Captain Lisa Phoenix. Rodriguez checks her instruments for the third time as the aircraft shudders against Antarctic crosswinds. The mission is simple on paper: deliver critical supplies to an isolated research station, but the weather radar paints a different story. A massive storm system approaches from the west, faster than forecasted. Lisa's eyes narrow as she calculates fuel reserves, alternate landing sites, and survival odds. Her co-pilot, Lieutenant James Cooper, glances over. "We could turn back, Captain." Lisa's jaw tightens as she studies the satellite imagery. Negative. Those scientists have 7 days of supplies left. This storm could last 2 weeks. What Lisa doesn't know is that this routine supply mission is about to become the first chapter in a military mystery that will echo through the corridors of the Pentagon for years to come. Because sometimes the most dangerous operations aren't the ones marked classified. They're the ones that never officially happened. And as the altimeter continues its steady descent toward the Antarctic plateau, Lisa Rodriguez has no idea she's flying straight into a conspiracy decades in the making. The year is 2019. Captain Rodriguez earned her call sign Phoenix during a harrowing extraction in northern Syria when she piloted her damaged aircraft through hostile airspace, rising from a situation deemed unsurvivable by command. Her personnel file reads like a recruitment poster: decorated Air Force Academy graduate, exceptional pilot metrics, psychological profile indicating remarkable calm under pressure. What isn't in her file is the voice she hears in critical moments. Her father, Colonel Miguel Rodriguez, killed in action during the Gulf War. She was only 6 when he died, but his guidance has never left her. Nudge, trust your training, trust your instincts. The mission to Antarctica came with minimal briefing. McMurdo Station had reported critical shortages after 2 scheduled supply drops were scrubbed due to weather. Lisa's loadmaster, Technical Sergeant Ray Dawson, supervised as they packed the C-17 with medical supplies, fuel bladders, and equipment parts. Before takeoff, a non-uniformed official boarded briefly to inspect a sealed container marked only with an alphanumeric code and the faded insignia of a program Lisa didn't recognize. When she questioned its contents, her squadron commander simply said, "Routine scientific equipment. Eyes forward, Phoenix." The first sign something was wrong came 6 hours into the flight. The secure communication system flashed an unauthorized access attempt, then reset itself. Cooper noticed it first. "System glitch?" Lisa frowned at the equipment. "Run diagnostics." Nothing conclusive appeared. 3,000 miles from their departure point, the aircraft's environmental systems registered an unusual temperature drop in the cargo hold, despite the insulation. Technical Sergeant Dawson went to investigate, reporting back, "Temperature's normal back here, Captain, but that secured container, it's humming." Antarctica loomed below, a pristine white expanse larger than the continental United States, holding secrets beneath ice sheets 4 kilometers thick. Few people know that beneath the scientific outposts visible on satellite imagery, other facilities exist. Joint operations between military and intelligence agencies of several nations. Officially, they monitor climate data and conduct geological surveys. Unofficially, well, that's where the story gets complicated. Lisa checked their coordinates again. They were passing over an area designated only as Sector 7 on their flight charts, a region with no official outposts or landing strips for hundreds of miles. "Captain, we've got a problem." Cooper's voice cut through her thoughts as warning lights flashed across the instrument panel. Engine 3 had abruptly lost pressure. Standard procedure dictated immediate altitude adjustment and course correction to the nearest emergency landing site. Lisa began the protocol when the secure communication system suddenly activated itself, displaying a message: "Maintain course. Priority Alpha." The authorization code belonged to the Pentagon's Special Access Programs Division. Lisa hesitated. Military protocol was clear about chain of command, but risking her aircraft on cryptic orders. "Running engine diagnostics," she announced, buying time to think. The readouts showed catastrophic failure imminent in Engine 3, with Engine 4 showing early warning signs of the same problem. Outside, the storm front had accelerated, now less than 40 minutes from their position. Cooper wiped sweat from his forehead, despite the cold cockpit. "Captain, we need to divert now." The secure communication system flashed again. "Proceed to coordinates. National security imperative." Lisa made her decision. "Prepare for emergency protocols." "We're continuing to McMurdo." That's when Engine 3 failed completely. The massive aircraft lurched violently, forcing Lisa to compensate with immediate throttle adjustments. "Engine 3 is gone!" Cooper shouted over the sudden roar of wind as the aircraft destabilized. Lisa's hands moved with mechanical precision, muscle memory from countless simulator hours taking over, balancing thrust. "Prepare for potential flameout on 4. The storm's leading edge hit them like a physical wall, visibility dropping to near zero as ice crystals battered the windshield. The aircraft's frame groaned under the strain of turbulence. In the cargo hold, restraints creaked as the mysterious container shifted. Technical Sergeant Dawson braced against a bulkhead as the plane pitched downward. "Captain, whatever's in this container is active. Temperature's climbing and there's some kind of electromagnetic interference affecting my tablet." Engine 4 sputtered, then died. The C-17 began a controlled but inevitable descent through blinding snow. Lisa keyed the emergency transponder, though she knew no rescue would come quickly in these conditions. Her father's voice seemed to whisper in her ear. "Sometimes survival means making impossible decisions. Mayday, mayday. This is Air Force 8675, C-17 declaring emergency." Static answered her call as the communication system failed completely. The navigation system flickered, then displayed an anomaly, a small plateau approximately 12 miles ahead, mysteriously absent from their charts. "Cooper, I'm taking manual control. Prepare for emergency landing procedure." The lieutenant's eyes widened. "On what runway?" Lisa's expression hardened. "We make our own." What followed would later be described in classified debriefings as a landing that defied both physics and probability. Using the aircraft's remaining momentum and limited visibility through breaks in the storm, Lisa guided the massive transport plane toward the plateau. The landing gear deployed with hydraulic complaints. Impact was imminent. "Brace! Brace! Brace!" The C-17 hit the ice with bone-jarring force, skidding across the frozen surface. Metal screamed against ice as the aircraft slowed, finally coming to rest near a strange geometric formation, partially visible through the blizzard. Lisa checked her crew, shaken but alive. Cooper stared out the frost-covered window. "Captain, those aren't natural formations out there." 3 hours after the crash landing, the storm reached full intensity, with winds exceeding 100 knots and temperatures plummeting to 70 degrees. Inside the damaged C-17, Lisa organized their survival plan. The aircraft's emergency power provided minimal heat and light. "Inventory all supplies," she ordered. "Establish communications priority and conserve batteries." Technical Sergeant Dawson approached her privately. "Captain, that container is becoming unstable. Internal temperature continues to rise despite ambient conditions." Lisa followed him to the cargo hold, where frost had formed an unusual pattern around the mysterious package. Ice crystals arranging themselves in almost symmetrical patterns radiating outward. "Have you opened it?" Dawson shook his head. "It's triple-locked with biometric security. But there's something else." He pointed to a small insignia, partially visible beneath a loosened edge of the container's covering. A symbol Lisa recognized from her father's personal effects, a stylized phoenix rising from what appeared to be Antarctic ice. Her blood ran cold. "That's iceworm classification. That program was supposedly terminated in 1970. Night fell, though in Antarctic summer the difference was minimal, just a dimming of the perpetual daylight. Lisa checked on Cooper, who had suffered a concussion during landing. "How's the radio?" Cooper adjusted dials on their emergency transmitter. Still nothing but static. But there's something strange. Intermittent signals pulsing at regular intervals. Lisa listened to the pattern. That's not random interference. After 20 years of military service, she recognized a deliberately modulated signal. Someone was broadcasting nearby. As the others slept in emergency thermal blankets, Lisa made her way to the damaged cargo ramp. Forcing it open just enough to slip through, she stepped into the Antarctic night. The wind had temporarily abated, revealing an impossible sight. Geometric structures half buried in ice, clearly artificial, less than a mile from their position. She activated her personal locator beacon, knowing it might draw attention from whoever operated those structures. What she didn't expect was the immediate response. Lights activating in sequence along what appeared to be a subterranean runway. Dawn brought rescue, though not the kind Lisa expected. No traditional search and rescue team arrived. Instead, a sleek, unmarked aircraft with no visible national identifiers landed precisely beside their damaged C-17. 4 individuals in specialized cold-weather gear, without insignia or name tags, emerged and approached. Their leader, a stern-faced woman with ice-blue eyes, addressed Lisa directly. "Captain Rodriguez, your presence here is unexpected, but perhaps fortuitous. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Weiss, Site Director." No further explanation was offered, as they were efficiently transferred to the unmarked aircraft. The mysterious container was removed with extraordinary precautions. Before boarding, Lisa glimpsed the half-buried structures again, this time noting they formed a pattern identical to the Phoenix insignia she'd seen. During the flight to an undisclosed location, Dr. Weiss studied Lisa with unnerving intensity. "Your father was Colonel Miguel Rodriguez, correct? Killed in action in 1991? Lisa's suspicion deepened. "How is that relevant to our situation?" Instead of answering, Dr. Weiss handed Lisa a sealed file with presidential-level security clearance markings. "Your father's death was administratively necessary. Operation Phoenix required complete severance from previous identities." Lisa's hands trembled as she opened the file. Inside was a photograph dated 3 months earlier. Her father, aged but unmistakable, in a laboratory setting, with Antarctic equipment, visible in the background. "Welcome to the Continuity of Operations program, Captain. Your father has been waiting a very long time to see you again." The aircraft descended toward what appeared to be open ocean, but as they approached, a massive platform emerged from beneath the waves. A mobile research station disguised as an iceberg from satellite observation. Dr. Weiss continued, "In 1991, the Pentagon identified critical personnel for long-term specialized projects. Your father volunteered for the most classified of these initiatives, developing contingency technology for civilization-level threats. His death was staged to maintain operational security." The facility beneath the false iceberg sprawled across multiple levels, a marvel of classified engineering that officially didn't exist. Lisa was escorted through security protocols that included advanced biometric scanning and what appeared to be quantum encryption barriers. The container you transported contains crucial stabilization components," Dr. Weiss explained as they descended. "Without them, certain dimensional anomalies would continue to expand." Lisa struggled to process both the technological impossibilities surrounding her and the personal revelation about her father. "Where is he now?" Dr. Weiss's expression became guarded. "There's been a complication. 3 weeks ago, Colonel Rodriguez disappeared from this facility. Yesterday, he was found unconscious inside a Pentagon storage room that had been sealed since 1976, with no record of entry. He remains in military custody, unable or unwilling to explain how he traversed 9,000 miles instantaneously. Your crash wasn't an accident, Captain. It was a beacon he somehow activated remotely. The medical bay where they finally stopped was equipped with technology Lisa had never seen before, devices that seemed to monitor not just vital signs, but something else entirely. On the central bed lay her father, appearing only slightly older than in her childhood memories, connected to equipment that pulsed with strange, shifting light patterns. Dr. Weiss checked his monitors. "He's been asking for you." Whatever he accomplished, it severely depleted his cellular energy. When they were alone, Miguel Rodriguez opened his eyes, the same warm brown Lisa remembered. "Phoenix," he whispered, using her call sign with a smile. "You flew through the storm, just like I knew you would." Lisa fought back tears. "They told me you were dead." He reached for her hand, his grip surprisingly strong. "I had to protect you from what I'd become part of. But now, we need you." "The breach is widening." "What breach?" Lisa asked, but her father's eyes had drifted to the observation window where Dr. Weiss watched them intently. "They're not telling you everything," he whispered. "The project's beneath Antarctica. We found something in the ice in 1991, something that doesn't belong in our world." His voice weakened. "Your emergency landing wasn't on any natural formation. Those structures are older than human civilization, preserved perfectly in the ice until our drilling released something." A nurse entered, checking Colonel Rodriguez's readings with concerned efficiency. Lisa noticed a small tattoo on her father's wrist, previously hidden by monitoring equipment, the phoenix symbol surrounded by what appeared to be mathematical equations. "Why did you appear in the Pentagon?" Lisa pressed. Miguel's expression became distant. "I didn't travel to the Pentagon. I traveled from it. The original entry point from 1970 has remained active all this time. Someone has been using it." For 3 days, Lisa remained at the facility, debriefed repeatedly about her crash landing, while trying to piece together fragments of the truth. Her crew had been evacuated separately, she was told, already returned to their duties with enhanced security clearances and non-disclosure agreements. The mysterious container had been taken to deeper containment levels for integration with existing systems. Dr. Weiss revealed only that Operation Phoenix had begun as a Cold War contingency plan, a method of ensuring government continuity in case of nuclear war, but had evolved when researchers discovered unique properties in certain Antarctic regions. On the 4th day, alarms blared throughout the facility. Security personnel rushed through corridors. Lisa found her father's room empty, monitoring equipment disabled. On his pillow lay a single note: "The Pentagon, Sub-Basement 4, Archive Room 1991. The gateway is bidirectional." Using the confusion, Lisa made her way to the aircraft hangar, where the unmarked plane was being prepared for emergency departure. The next 72 hours became a classified odyssey as Lisa used her military credentials, combined with codes from her father's note, to navigate back to Washington, D.C. Without official authorization for her movement, she operated in a procedural gray area, not AWOL, but certainly not following approved channels. Upon reaching the Pentagon, she discovered her security clearance had been mysteriously upgraded, granting access to areas she'd never known existed. Following her father's instructions, she located an unmarked door in Sub-Basement 4, behind preservation archives containing Cold War documentation. The keypad accepted a sequence she found encrypted in her father's note, her birth date combined with the day of his death. Inside was a small circular room with a single peculiarity. The temperature dropped precipitously toward its center, creating visible air distortion. As the door sealed behind her, Lisa heard her father's voice from the center of the cold anomaly. "Some secrets aren't meant to stay buried in ice." What happened next remains redacted from all but the highest security clearances. Pentagon surveillance footage shows Captain Lisa Rodriguez entering the archive room at 14:37 hours on March 17, 2019. No footage shows her leaving. 3 weeks later, simultaneous intrusion alarms activated at 12 different classified facilities worldwide, including the Antarctic research station where Lisa had been debriefed. At each location, security teams discovered the same message displayed on otherwise secure systems: Phoenix Protocol initiated. Convergence imminent. At exactly the same moment, Lisa Rodriguez reappeared inside the Pentagon's most secure briefing room during a classified intelligence meeting, accompanied by her father and 7 other personnel previously listed as killed in action across 3 decades of military operations. Their collective testimony, still sealed under presidential order, reportedly detailed a conspiracy reaching into the highest levels of military and intelligence communities, a program to exploit what Colonel Rodriguez described only as non-conventional transit capabilities discovered beneath Antarctic ice. Today, Captain Lisa Phoenix Rodriguez officially remains on active duty, though no flight logs or mission records exist for her activities. Pentagon visitor logs occasionally show her name, always in connection with classified briefings involving the Joint Chiefs. Military personnel who served with her describe being interviewed by intelligence officers regarding her past missions, particularly her Antarctic emergency landing. The mysterious container she transported has vanished from all supply manifests. Perhaps most intriguing are the satellite anomalies now regularly detected over Antarctica, unusual energy signatures centered precisely where Lisa's C-17 crashed. Official explanations cite atmospheric research and climate monitoring, but those with sufficient clearance know that something fundamental changed when a routine supply mission encountered impossible weather. The question that keeps Pentagon officials awake at night isn't whether Captain Rodriguez discovered something hidden beneath Antarctic ice. It's what found her. And as classified reports indicate increasing activity at the site, one thing becomes clear. Sometimes the most dangerous front lines aren't found in recognized conflict zones, but in places where reality itself seems negotiable.